my life, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible.
It's another one. We got another one. It's her. Who that? Big baby slide through in that drop top. Something by Benz looking cute. That's fine as her and her friends. Big blinks and snatch waist. Yeah, she brought the ain't no way. Somebody daddy ain't gon' give her the spins with her ends. Cause yeah, she did it. She did it again. A few more tracks and this time she bought friends. Big baby on her way up and showed the stairs to a man's. Now salute the general. TGLX got plans. Yeah. Damn, it's the intro? Yes, it's the intro. Damn, this is the intro? Yes, it's the intro.
They don't know what they in for. It be coming like this on the intro, what they here for. If they want the heat, you know who to send for your info. Buy my money like Venmo. If this music don't work out, I know how to get it from my ends low. How you feel though? Cause, hey, they can't rock with us. Galaxy.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. This one taken just inside the 10. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Fake, Cousins. And his first look is incomplete. So this game here in London, the first of 5 games in the NFL International Series for 2022. We'll see the Giants and Packers here next week. Broncos and Jags at Wembley at the end of the month. The Seahawks and the Bucs, that'll be in November in Munich, Germany. First time a game's been held there. And then we wrap up down in Mexico City, November 21st. Cardinals and Niners from Estadio Azteca. And he'll manage only a couple here up to the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Now Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. A bad time for a roughing penalty, and they get the gift of a 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he's got some space here. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Cook again. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
Now the Iowa State product, it's Kene Nwangu, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package, and that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
First carry now for Kareem Hunt. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Throwing is Cousins. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That's a really nice job there by the coverage, understanding that they're in a high-stakes situation. If he doesn't make a play on that ball, there's an excellent chance it ends up either as a touchdown or as a nice gain downfield.
And that hits off the left upright, and it caroms away, no good. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. Cook now off the read option. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. The ball situated at the 9. 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, they run it with Hunt. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now. This is kind of one of those in-between plays here, Charles, on 3rd and goal from the 2 or the 3 in that area. What do you dial up?
Something quick hitting. You don't have the time for something that develops slowly. It's got to be right at them if you're going to run the football. And if you're going to throw it, something quick, get it out of your hands in a hurry.
Cook. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And now before this 4th and 2 play comes to fruition, they're going to think about it and call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Winston and the Saints now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here. And if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of 1st downs. Run some plays, run some clock. Get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They go play action. Winston. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Lewisine. And the Vikings are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the 1st half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Hunt will try going up the middle, and he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunt. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
2nd and 5. Play action now. Cousins. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So a good grab there. And here's a guy who had to learn the offense quick, just picked up as a free agent earlier this week.
And usually there's a connection, isn't there? A past coach, someone from the front office who knew him from before and thought that he could help this team.
They'll run with Cook, and they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Now from the 9, here's second and goal. Now a handoff. Hunt's going to run left. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Big play coming here. It's third and goal. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. His second rushing touchdown on the campaign and 4th overall. And the Vikings lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Joseph connects on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14. This defense for the Vikings, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick 6 last week. Not a pick 6 here, but an interception.
It's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept a pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
On 1st down, they'll run with Hunt. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Demario Davis. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Partner, we had their game last week where they had 6 sacks, so a little bit more momentum here again in the first quarter.
And last week it appeared that they were coming out of sprinters blocks, chasing the quarterback. So how do they continue that? How do they keep making it happen? Different looks, different disguises, different angles that they chase it.
They were so disruptive last week. We'll see what the trend is here as we go forward. 3rd and long for Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the 1st down. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a 2-touchdown game.
Yeah, 55 yards is anything but a gimme. You've got to really concentrate on your leg swing and proper technique. This time, though, he's unable to convert.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Play action now. Winston. And he's got his man on the crossing route. That's Landry. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They were starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise, and start to put together some drives.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll go draw here. Winston hands to Kamara. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. The Saints had 0-3 here to begin the campaign, and you hate to have to say it this early in the season, but getting close to must-win time, is it not?
And I totally understand why you expressed it that way, because it's so early in the season, it feels like hyperbole. But I think you are spot on this one. Yes, there's still time to turn things around, but they've got to start to win right now if they have any hopes of trying to make the playoffs. It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too.
Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now keep in mind, if you're thinking of staying on the ground, this is a top 5 rush defense.
Yeah, but I don't think you shy away totally with the run. At least show them the hint of a run before you decide to throw the football.
On 3rd down, Winston. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
Winston to the sideline here on 4th down, and Will Lutz gets set for a New Orleans field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. The kick by Lutz is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Handoff up the middle, Hunt. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Back to the ground, this time Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Yikes. Terrible kick headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 7 yards there and a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Consecutive positive runs for him on the last 2 snaps. He certainly appears to be trying to put the offense on his back and just move them down the field when his number is called. The way he's running it, I keep going back to him.
They'll try to throw now. Winston. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
Even in a down year statistically, Juice Landry still produced over 50 catches to lead Cleveland in his final season there. A milestone awaits Landry, though, this season. He's almost a lock to jump into the top 50 all-time for receptions. One of those goes for a first down this time.
Again, he's got that man Landry. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 2nd and 7. Back to the ground. It's Kamara. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Winston now. There's Chris Olave. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 28. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on third down, and they keep the drive going.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Winston. Open man is Hill. He's got it. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Second down, Kamara. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. We've got a 14-3 ball game with 2 minutes left in the opening half. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Jameis to throw it. And he whips that one incomplete there.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Winston to give. It's Kamara. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Hard throw, incomplete. Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays that give themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So the 3 points there, and CD, that helps them inch a bit closer.
Yeah, partner, when you're losing, any points you see go on the board in your favor, you're happy to take them.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Finding space at the 40. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cook. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. third down. Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. They'll give him 4 yards there. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. So on fourth down, on is the punter, Ryan Wright. Oh, it's a wobbler here. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. Well, pretty woeful there. Just 23 yards on the punt. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get in the field goal range. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. Second down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As it's time now to send you back stateside to Orlando, Florida, and check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now, they got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
On play action, Winston. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the third quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Here comes Rager. Call it a 48-yard punt. Give him 9, though, on the return. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. To begin the drive, here's a handoff to Hunt to about the 35, second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. Here's Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Give them the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Now Cousins here on the bootleg. And this is Cook with a grab. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and that's going to bring up second down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Play fake. Cousins. He'll get this to his tight end, Gesicki. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now gives him much better opportunity to convert on third down.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
60-60.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Only 29 yards on the punt there, definitely not his best. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points. So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
A 10th carry for Kamara. He'll rumble for about 6 up across the 20 to the 22.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Here's Winston. This is complete to Michael Thomas. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this returnable for Rager. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. On 2nd down and 4, Cousins. And it's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he will have a Vikings first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
Play action now. Cousins. That's to Cook out of the backfield. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another first down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Cousins again. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. He'll get it inside the 20. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A big play there on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field. And just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Here's a handoff to Hunt running left. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They run the counter with Cook. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Joseph connects on the extra point. And the lead is up to 15 now. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Fielded right around the 8. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw is Winston. He'll find his tight end. It's Adam Troutman. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And Jameis intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line.
He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
They start the drive with Cook. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 63 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
On the counter, Hunt. 12 yards there. First down, Vikings.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
On play action, Cousins completes it to the fullback Ham. And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
Well, they certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
They'll run with Hunt on second down. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
They go play action. Cousins. Throw left side here, complete to the tight end, Gesicki. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Three yards remain for second down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook halfway to 100 now with career touchdown number 50. And the Vikings are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Joseph connects on the extra point. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Lewis Seen. And the Vikings are going to take possession as they've got it at the 42-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way. And
a pretty good burst there as he'll get this across midfield and down to the 46. 95 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. On the toss, here's Nwangu. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there. The Vikings on third down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Cousins. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. And the Saints are going to take over here up near the 40. And looky there, Charles, just acquired, already making an impact on the defensive side of the football.
Maybe not a superstar, but he does a few things well, and I think they'll emphasize that in his new role with this team.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Here's Kamara off the draw. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Winston. And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Here comes the Saints punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
4 yards there on the carry, gets it back to 2nd and 11.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
On 2nd down, this is Madison. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
New Orleans adding some depth to the secondary. They've got 6 DBs out there now for 3rd. Throwing, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. That one goes for 8 yards.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure against the defense. And it worked very well there for a first down.
On first down, they'll run with the Wangu.
And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled.
113 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the fourth quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down. So they cite the right guard this time with a holding penalty.
And so many different assignments you can have at that position. And sometimes you might just be a step too late and have to grab and hold on.
They'll go Madison up the middle. Found a little room there as he's out to about the 37. Credit the tackle to Kentavious Street, the product of NC State.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Here's Madison getting it again on 2nd.
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Play number 9 on the drive coming up, and they need 9 yards on 3rd down.
Handoff right side to Wangu.
And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to a 1st down.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They begin on the ground with Kamara. Well, that gives them a little room, but not much. A gain of 2 to the 5.
That 1st down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time. 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the 2nd quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half, the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the 2nd half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they'll sink now to 0-4. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.
Your best friend hanging out the arm though. Got game like I'm dropping me a console. No, I don't swim, but I give up. Now flex. While you get looking the best, feel to get up in your chest. While I soak up my success, getting tokens for your stress. I'll be making all the checks anytime you see me step on a stage. Acting real soft like my skin coming beige. Gonna step.
That my Brooklyn, go see Chirac, Southside, C12, 911, grrr to the reality, we still outside. Mine on the wrenches, hard in the trenches. You can't throw dirt on the underground, we thrive in it. Ghana boys stocks on the rise, Charlie, this flex know they ready. See, we went on to ride nobody with.